Hi, everybody, and welcome to the messy junk room where we create whatever. You may or may not recognize this. This is one of my favorite junk journals that I made that I have kept for myself. I love it. It's soft covered. Did it for Defemember 2022. Whole playlist there, a video every day that month until the 25th of December. This junk journal is vibrant and bold and full of bright colors, and one of the themes throughout was animals, which I really enjoyed. And Louisa from Louisa Hansel and Barbara from 49 Dragonflies put it on. It was their second year. I can't wait to do this year's. And I loved it because they had a prompt list. And I'm starting to realize that I need something to get me going. Once I get going, I'm great, but it's just that jump starting with ideas and what to put together. But in this junk journal, the last piece that I made, I put it in and it doesn't fit. It doesn't belong. And I've tried and tried to love it and I can't. I just can't do it. And it stopped me from playing in this junk journal and doing more experimenting. I don't know if that happens to you, where you do a page or a piece of ephemera and you put it in and it doesn't work. It doesn't fit. You don't like it. It's not the same vibe or feeling that the rest of the book has. Well, that's happening in here, and I got to do something about it, or I'm not going to enjoy this beautiful junk journal and add more to it. And it has a lot of empty pages and room to grow. And it's not getting used, the poor thing. Gotta fix that. But it also made me wonder about life. And have you ever tried to fit in somewhere, whether at work or school or in a social setting or even family, and you just don't fit in? That's happened to me too. Got to do something about that. Got to do something about this. So join me at the table and we'll figure out this part and maybe talk about life in general. Okay, here she is. Oh, I just love the feel of it. Made from Amazon brown paper packaging. Love it. So let's open her up. Here's the playlist from Defemember 22, which I really love, having that prompt list to get started. I created pockets, so I've been putting things in here that I think might work and want to use. So I used all kinds of different papers and envelopes. Oh, it's so cute. This is his family tree, and so it is so fun. The stories that have been coming out of this creating, I just love it. Here's a library card that I want to use somewhere. I added this flower because it just goes with the colors in the journal, and I added this piece of cluster here. I love making clusters. This I haven't attached yet. I think I'm just going to do a clip and maybe put a little dangle on the side. This is not my favorite one, but the artwork that is inside from very special people is tucked away safely in there. I have some scraps of the material I use that I'm trying to figure out a way to incorporate into the journal because I don't want to waste any pieces. Isn't this fun? Pink flamingos. It must be family or something. I don't know. Oh, I just love the animals. Some aren't my favorite pieces, but it still fits. Here's the other side to that pocket with a beautiful piece of artwork in there. And there's 4 signatures in here. I think this one needs a magnet to keep it attached better there. So as you can see, it's all kinds of different paper, and I love that. But they're blank. I gotta start doing something with them. But there's a roadblock. Look at this piece I added. Oh my goodness, it's a ribbon. Isn't it beautiful? And it sparkles. This thing I'm gonna do in like a pocket with the material there. Now Bear was one of the animals, and he's my favorite bear, so fits in there. I haven't got this attached because I don't want to lose the writing space, so I'm thinking a clear pocket there. These guys are still swimming. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Oh, I love this page. And the elephant. And the last page, so fun. And one of the things that I did for Defemember was I bought an advent calendar for crafters. And so there's stuff throughout the junk journal from all of that, and that was so fun. But did you see the page that doesn't belong? It's close to the back. So here it is. It's not that there's anything wrong. It's actually very interactive with magnets to the windows. And it was for a project that I signed up to do. And I glued it down up until here. So lots of glue on the bottom, and then up here was pockets. It doesn't fit. It's the Dark Manor. That should have been my first clue that it needed to go in a different junk journal. But I wanted to use it. I made it. I wanted to use it. I learned a lot through this process of things I like and things I don't. But it doesn't fit. What do you do? I could just glue it like this onto, and it would look like that. It's one way to do it. That's not the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to take it off. And yes, there's a chance that I will completely wreck what's behind it. But I can't just leave it anymore. It's actually got to come out of the junk journal. So I very carefully, this was the easy part because this part wasn't glued down, and so I very carefully started to pull it up, and then I could feel when I got down to the doors that it wasn't coming up very easily. But I finally got it off, and yes, paper stuck to it, and now I have this great big gaping hole. And the sewing came out a little bit, although it's really neat because the back and front thread wind around each other, creating black and white. That's so cool. But I thought maybe I could just use this for a peekaboo, and that's a possibility, but it's really flimsy. I don't think I want to do that. I do have more of this paper that I have found. And so I've ripped up a big piece, and I thought I'm just going to cover it. That's the easiest solution. And I'm going to cut it straight for the bottom because the tears come right down to the sewing. It's not easy to remove something. Especially if you put work into it and you created it. But I haven't been enjoying this junk journal like I've wanted to. Maybe it's because dark and light can't coexist. It's either one or the other. All right, so I'm just going to glue that right on top. Oh, it's feeling better already. Whew. Now, I was mass producing masterboards and clusters, and I had so much fun doing that. I have piles now, variations. So I thought I better use some of it. And I have this cute little fella right here. How appropriate is this sentiment? And he just fits right in with the animals. So I did sew this off camera before coming on. And it was a journey for this piece of large ephemera and trying to make it fit. And so that was a journey. And so now I've taken care of that so the journey can continue. It's also a great sentiment for life, because sometimes our journey takes unexpected twists and turns, and some things you can fix and remove from your life, but other times you have to work with it, whatever that is. And so I just find this very symbolic for life. But now it's a little plain, so we got to grunge it up because there's lots of grunge throughout, as well as the color. So just putting it on there, that's kind of boring. What to do? I was in London. I'm in St. Thomas, Ontario. I was in London, Ontario yesterday, spending some time with a friend I hadn't seen in a very long time. And we hung out. And on my way home, after we'd spent several hours together, I stopped at Michael's. Michael's is a craft store here in Canada. And it's very, very expensive. I don't go very often, but I like to go in and see the latest. And the latest, if you're a scrapbooker, junk journaler, was a little disappointing, because I can remember when they had like a whole row of stamps, because I'm looking for a script stamp. But oh my goodness, it was not even half an aisle. It was just a corner. It was a quarter of a space for stamps. So I was really, really disappointed with that. But they did have some Ranger inks, and I have a couple sprays that I really love, but I splurged and got myself an oxide. I've never ever had oxide, or what oxide does. I just think it's really neat when I've seen others using it. So I couldn't remember which of the sprays that I loved the best, but I went with Vintage Photo, and I thought I'm gonna try that smooshing technique that I've seen others do. So I hope I'm doing this right. So I've seen this done. I've done it myself with others' stuff. And then you spray it with water. If you can find water. Let's put it down here. Gotta move it around a bit, and then kind of just like that a little bit. And then kind of smoosh. Give it some grunge. Okay. We'll dry that. It's great to dry in between whatever you're doing. That's dry. Pretty fun. But it blends in too much. So I'm going to try a stencil. I am not very successful with stencils when I put it on the page, spray, and then take it off. But when I take it off and I turn it upside down to put on a scrap piece to make fodder, it turns out beautiful. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So I have this one. Hard to see. Piece maybe a little bit better there. So let me take, this is my favorite one, antique linen. So I'm just gonna, oh, can't use that one. It doesn't spray right. Okay, let's use this one. This is vintage photo, but it looks darker. Oop, see how dark that is? Compared to the ink pad. Okay, so I take this up very carefully. I've got a piece of paper. Get some of this out of my way. Take this up. Turn it over. And smoosh it down there. And look, it turns out better over here. Every time. Well, now he stands out a little bit more. I don't really like that. Does he need something else though? Because up here, what do I put up here? I do have this script type stamp. I'm not sure where I got it. Probably off of Amazon. I'm using my favorite Versamagic Jumbo Java. And I thought I could put some stamping up there. Bring some interest up there a little bit. Whoops. Maybe cover up some of that line. Whoops. Cover up over here a little bit. Just trying to get rid of that frame there. I think that's good. Let's get some of the ink off here. There we go. Always have a piece handy so you can make fodder. Okay. I also got crackle paste. I've never used crackle paste before. Let's bring back this. Maybe do a little up there. I've watched Barbara, 49 Dragonflies, and Louisa Hunsel do this. This says translucent. Oops, I don't know if I'm doing this right. Oh, you can see a little bit. Let's add some down here, maybe on this side. I don't know how much you're supposed to use. Oh, right. Okay. The oxidized ink is turning it color. That's interesting. See, forgot about that. I'll just there. So now that's got to dry. It looks like it's still wet, but it's not wet. And it's translucent, so now I know this part needs more time to dry, but I can move on, I think. So I wanted to put him there, and then I was thinking something there, like one of my little clusters, or a bigger cluster underneath it. Just to add, and then maybe a little something there. Or I leave this for now. I think I can use it maybe for a tuck or a pocket. And just leave this up here just the way it is. Grungy. Maybe I need to put him more in the middle. Yeah, I don't want to cover up where it's going to show the crackling. So if I put it there, it's just a feature. Could be a little spot there for a tag. That might work. Let's do that. I'm going to glue the 3 sides with my art glitter glue. Make sure I glue the right sides. Where my thumb is, I'm not gluing. My topper for my glue that my friend made me rusted, so I'm not very good at putting the lid back on. Let's put right about there so we can see the crackling. And the clamps won't help me because it's too far in. So we'll just hold it there for a minute. And I will come back to this page after it has time to completely air dry. But he fits in, and I feel so much better that I took this out. Whether in your junk journal or in life, only you can do something about your situation if you don't fit in. But you will always, always fit into God's family. That's so incredibly encouraging. Enjoy your day. Bye, everybody.